I'm gonna have to go talk to my boyfriend.
Hello and welcome back to Splash Out. I'm your host Skylanzcircus, and not beside me is not Jackass Trash. Today we've got 24 contestants lined up ready to battle it out for 150 Robux, but let's hope none of them go missing on today's qualifier. First up in today's qualifier, we've got the Espinosa Highline. Let's hope none of our contestants are afraid of ice or birds. Following that, we've got the Outpost, delivering energy to Espinosa Center for years. Following that, they'll take a trip to the big balls featuring our Invader, and if they touch the shark, they get an extra 25 Robux. After that, they'll take a ride on our subway suicide and try not to hit the trains. And finally, they'll go through our Wipeout Factory. The obstacle of your dreams comes to life. If they fail to reach the end platform, they'll swim to our alternate finishing spot. Remember, the top 12 fastest times in the qualifier move on to round 2, so let's get things underway. First to run the course today is Dark Into the Soul, aka Cassie Bro. She hails from Canada. Hopefully Espinosa Center won't treat her that poorly, but maybe those, hockey tricks will come into play. And they did not. Cassie gets absolutely clipped by that bird. Yeah, they don't have those in Canada, do they? Moving on to Outpost, and she's almost got it. Okay, big balls now, and takes an Espinosa Center size to Wipeout. Look at that again. Hits the second ball, it goes flying towards the fourth. All right, now up to subway suicide. She should be fairly good at this. I thought Canadians were supposed to be happy, but I guess not. Cassie deciding to venture through Wipeout Factory. Well, after a run like this, I don't think we'll be able to forget her because 90% sure Cassie Girl is gonna move on with a time like this. And while she decides to shake off those bruises, let's go back up to a Doge named Chris. Oh my god. Our course neuters a Doge named Chris. Well, this sure is a puppy found out. Outpost. This dog still needs to learn how to jump. I'll get there. Now we've got 4 big balls to help him jump. And yeah, that did not go so well. Our pup gets sent back to the pound. And that might be considered animal abuse. But nevertheless, he's ready to take on subway suicide, and maybe he'll be fast. He should be fast. He's a dog, right? He's played fetch. Oh. I'm surprised his tail's still intact after that. And while a Doge named Chris decides to recover, we cut to Tiger Yoshi Lay, who's on the big balls, and I don't know what that was, but he might be a gymnast. All right, the gymnast taking on subway suicide and sticks the landing. Treats that exactly like a floor act. Cue fast track. Let's go. Come on, Tiger Yoshi Lay. Oh. It started out so well. Yeah, there's not much to say about that. Up next is one Brandon the Dev, and he is deciding to be our course's crash test dummy. So, yeah, that kind of hurt. Moving on to the big balls. And decides to use the set as a helmet. Man. All right, checking for loose bolts. Oh my god! Decides to inspect our subway tracks for loose bolts with his face. Well, they don't call him the best crash test dummy for nothing. Alright, crash test dummy moving on through Wipeout Factory. Making sure everything's up to code, as you can see. He's doing very well. Oh my god! He gets put in line! Our sweeper bar makes an obstacle out of crash test dummy. Oh my god. And while Heagle gets an ice pack for his head, we can confidently say that he is going to move on into round 2 with a time of 1:44.13. Alright, up next is Dizv, and I don't think I know anything about him. So, Highline? No, Highline. He doesn't have great balance. Alright, unimpressive Dizv on Subway Suicide. And does not time that very well either. Well... Okay, we cut to Jespa, aka Silly Square. And he is the host of Mini Mashup. He should be good at this. Oh my god. You know, you'd think as someone who hosts your own competition, you'd be pretty good at balance, but apparently not. Our building sends him right back to wherever he came from. Man, I'd hate to be here. That was a head-on collision. Alright, well, he's coming up to Outpost, and, you know, he beats it. I expect nothing less. You know, meeting our big balls, and... yeah, Silly Square, this is what happens when you leave big balls out of Mini Mashup. Nevertheless, he's on the Subway Suicide, and he completely lands off target. Uses the track to throw him into the ladder. I mean, I guess that's helpful. But Silly Square isn't the only one trying to get into Club Splash Out today. We've got contestants getting pounded at the door. And of course, you know, our obstacles are VIP service only. Gotcha. That's gonna leave a lot of marks, actually. Leave it all out on the dance floor. Don't forget to get stamped on your way in. Come on now. Oh, he's got paint for days. Oh! Hates to see you leave, but loves to watch you go. And I don't think our obstacles are taking anyone home with them tonight. And don't forget, there is no bottle service. Or at least, you are the bottle. But then again, you're always welcome to Club Splash Out. Like this guy. Oh my god. And I'm sorry, but we've reached max capacity. Our birds go ahead and throw them straight to the bouncers. Oh my god. Alright, well he recovers. We've got Crazy Pack 23 approaching Outpost. Aye! Gets a bag full of outlet. You know what? He'll be okay. He's got lightsabers. He might do that? I mean, I don't know what those Jedi powers can do, but I didn't think it was miss the big balls entirely. Or miss the Subway Suicide ending. And while Jacket Stress goes to find Crazy Pack 23, we return to the top of the course where we find 2023 Amazing Summer, aka ARL. And he looks like tattoo practice. And performs like tattoo practice. ARL does not have good coordination. Out of the big ball, oh my gosh. Uses that second bubble launch him straight to the fourth and leaves a trance stamp on the big balls. Oh. That's gonna hurt. Nevertheless, ARL is onto the Wipeout Factory, and, you know, maybe our obstacles will go a little easy on him since he's already got enough imprints on him. And they do not. And gets stamped on the way out. And while ARL finds a way to remove that tattoo, we go to the top of the course where we find Taheen, who gets sent back to where rats come from. Moving on to Outpost, and I think he's used to chewing through cables, but obviously cannot chew through these. Maybe I'll have better luck on the big walls. And the rat does not. The rat underperforming again on the big balls. And while he figures out what he's doing here, we go to Lix Raider at Outpost, who looks like a paint job. And that paint is definitely helping him out because he just stuck the landing to Outpost. Maybe he can do the same on the big balls? And no, instead of using the paint, he tipped it all over. It's okay. On to Subway Suicide, and hopefully all this paint will help him stick to the end platform. And it does. He slides right on the end platform, and he is the third person to beat Subway Suicide. Moving quickly on to Wipeout Factory now. And covered in our paint. Alright. Pass one sweeper bar and get sent right back. Can you do it for all that is holy? Oh, and get stamped. And that sweeper bar is just not helping him out. Fighting? Question mark. Oh my gosh. Yeah, our super bar will do that to you. But up next is, I don't know who this is, but they just left a face imprint on our third big ball, and it is going to take days to wipe that off. It's okay, we'll get Tiger Yoshi to do it or something. Moving on to Subway Suicide, and he kind of looks like he plays an instrument, so maybe he'll be, whoever this is just got absolutely owned by Subway Suicide. Again and again and again. Look at this. He is definitely fat, juicy, and now all wet. Shout out to Drakus Trash. And while this guy tries to figure out who he is and what he's doing here and why he's so dazed and confused, we go to a door spoke one who is approaching Outlet Outpost. And cannot stick the landing. Yeah. Not much to say about the door. And slides across our big balls. Okay. I guess Adore Spoke 1 is proving that he is slippery when wet. And proving that again as he slips right off the end platform. Alright, slippery when wet, approaching Wipeout Factory. And gets owned by the big balls, but he got owned by a lot more. Adore Spoke 1 proving that it is not good when you are wet. Yeah. At the time of 1:19:61, he will be going to round 2. And up next is our last contestant of the day, Will Shaps. And he should do good at this. He's like one of our own. Except I don't think he's ever been on this obstacle before, so. Yeah, and it shows because he tried to pick a fight with our bird. And it flies. It does what it's supposed to. Will Shaps approaching the big balls. And leaves a print on the third one. I don't know why, but everybody loves stamping that third one. Will Shaps up to Subway Suicide now. Oh my god. Gets his back broken on our end platform. Look at that. Our train track flips him up into it. Alright, approaching Wipeout Factory, and hopefully he'll be good. I mean, he's designed a couple of obstacles. He knows how to get... I guess not. And while he recovers, let's take a look at who's moving on to round 2. Moving on to round 2, we've got Mr. Irrelevant Dizv, the Canadian Cassie, and Harold Total Drama 5. Also moving on, we've got Will Shaps, Cyberblue 7, and Mini Mashup host Jespa. And all these contestants are now going to face Hyperdrive. Our 12 contestants start on this platform and hitch a ride on the zipline past our mashup of sweepers. Through that, they'll go straight through the brawl balls and past the brawl wall and land on our Shake-a-Later platform that definitely does not break after 4 minutes. The first 6 to complete this round move on to round 3. With that out of the way, I think it's time to get round 2 started. And whoever that is jumping. But first on is ARL and Tiger Yoshi Lay. And ARL gets owned by the brawl wall while Tiger takes a hyperdrive for a test run. And so did Adore and Hawksfan. Alright. Hawksfan wants to try and stick the landing. And Will Shaps and Tiger Yoshi Lay stays in the back. And will he... Oh! Tiger Yoshi Lay back on again. And gets a face full of Shake-a-Later. And Adore gets sent back to the dark places. Oh my god! Adore taking a sweeper to the face! Alright, next to attempt Hyperdrive is Crazy Pack 23, followed by Adore Spoke and Dizv. Will either of them be the first to make it? And Adore gets owned by the brawl wall, and Dizv continues to be irrelevant. ARL up again, and completely misses the Shake-a-Later. Will Shaps looks like he's gonna be in, and ARL gets owned in the background, and Will Shaps will not be moving on. And I don't know who that is, but is that Will Shaps? Getting pounded by the brawl wall and does not stick the landing. Will Shaps and ARL up again. And nobody's having luck. Tiger Yoshi Lay. And the brawl wall takes down the 3. Look, since ARL and Will Shaps flying and Tiger Yoshi Lay. Alright, Will Shaps really wants this. He's on another time. Joined by Cassie Girl, and Will Shaps crash lands on the platform and Cassie gets stuck on the brawl wall. Take a look, Cassie using those Canadian balancing skills to stand on the brawl wall. Alright, Crazy Pack gets set into the grass! Oh my god! Dizv continues to be irrelevant, and Crazy Pack hits the grass. And Cassio Girl gets sent flying back to Canada. Alright, Will Shap's up again, and down again. Alright, Dizv and... I don't know who that is, but Dizv is joined by some rando, and followed by Adore and Hawkspan. And Dizv, again, cannot stick the landing. But looks like Adore wants that first spot, and he is going to get that first spot. Just like that, there is 5 spots remaining. And someone sets us to pop. Tiger Yoshile and Cypher Blue gets a face full of Shakelator. Crazy Pack 23 gets sent flying. And can't stick the landing. Look at that. Our Shakelator decides to make a rocket out of Crazy Pack 23. And I don't know who that is, but they just got it. Crazy Pack 23 up again, determined to make it to this 3rd round. And cannot stick the landing. Cassio Girl gets thrown. And this round is proving to be harder than it looks. Alright, up next to face Hyperdrive. Tattoo Practice, who is taking his sweet time and gets hit by a brawl wall and goes over the Shakelator. It looks like Takeyoshi Lane, Harold Total Drama 5 want it, and they are not gonna get that. Alright, Takeyoshi Lane up again. He is determined he's gonna make it. And he is not gonna make it. Crazy Pack and Will Shap. Crazy Pack 23 getting absolutely clammed. It goes flying and Will flips over the brawl wall. Tattoo Practice ARL uses the support of Hyperdrive to claim the 2nd spot. And just like that, there are 4 spots remaining. And Cyber Blue 7 wants that 3rd spot. And he's gonna get that 3rd spot. And Takeyoshi Lei and Total Drama decide to go back. Silly Square decides to collide with our mashup of sweepers. Oh, Harold Total Drama 5 and Tiger Yoshile proving that you can wipe out team. But Tiger Yoshile is back up again, followed by Harold, who gets slammed by the sweeper. And Tiger Yoshile will claim our 4th spot. 2 spots remaining, and it looks like nobody wants one. Silly Square. Oh, Silly. Wait, who is that? Oh, sorry. Harold claims our 5th spot in the 3rd round, and just like that, there was 1 spot left, and Crazy Pack 23 goes flying. Dizv and Silly Square through the brawl balls, and Will Shaps decides he does not want to make it a close race. Look at that, Will Shaps gets taunted by the sweeper and then sent back to the back. And Hawkspan and whoever this is get absolutely clipped by those bars. Crazy Pack 23 and Cassio Girl want that last spot. And apparently this last spot is hard to come by because Cassio Girl gets sent back to Canada again. Dizv eyeing that last spot, making it past the brawl wall. And Dizv claims our 6th spot. And just like that, we have our 6. So let's take a look at who's moving on to round 3. Moving on, we've got Adore Spoke 1, Cyber Blue 7, Tattoo Practice, ARL, Tiger Yoshile, Harold Total Drama 5, and Mr. Irrelevant, Dizv. Stay tuned, because right after the break, our hits take a musical turn. Welcome back to Splash Out. I'm your host, Skylanzcircus, and before the break, we whittled our field of 24 contestants down to 6. And right now, they're about to face round 3, but let's see who's made it this far. Moving on to round 3, we've got Adore Spoke 1, Cyber Blue 7, Tattoo Practice, ARL, Tiger Yoshile, Harold Total Drama 5, and Mr. Irrelevant, Dizv. But right before we can get into the action, we have to explain how our 3rd round works. Welcome to Splash Out's Greatest Hits. Our 6 contestants start on the spinning drum and try to follow Street Beat as they use our drumsticks to take them over to our keyboards. Hopefully they don't strike the wrong chord, because if they do, our fingers will touch them. march to the right beat, and they are stage diving through our guitar. Our first 3 to make it past the guitar are moving out of the Wipeout Zone. I think it's time to get round 3 underway, but hopefully they know how to keep time. Alright, down to our contestants, who are lined up and ready to go. Our round's underway, and Harold Total Drama 5 takes the first spill. Tattoo Practice gets a wooden stamp. Alright, actually Harold again down, followed by Adore. Tiger Yoshi Lay wants it, Cyber Blue 7 goes into the water. Tattoo Practice, Tiger Yoshi Lay, and Tiger gets sent to water. Tattoo Practice, making sure that ink leaves its mark on our drum. And our finger decides it wants to give Awesome Reese Lewis his own tattoo, because look at that. Alright, Harold Total Drama 5 decides to march to the same beat as ARL, who decides to go for a swim. Cyber Blue 7, Harold, oh my gosh. Nobody can make it past our fingers. ARL is not striking the right course. But Cyber Blue 7, Harold gets a face full of keyboard, and Cyber Blue 7 gets touched from the back. Oh my god. This round seems about a lot more than just music. Alright, Harold wants a piece of the guitar and decides he's going to direct our attention to the big flop. Cyber Blue 7 decides last minute he does not want to play this piece. Tattoo Practice, and Harold does not jump. Tattoo Practice, onto our second keyboard. Can he be the first to guitar? No. And Harold is not either. Oh my god. Tiger Yoshi Lake gets a face full of finger. And Cyber Blue 7 might actually be the first to the guitar, and no. Our fingers do not play kind with these keys. And Harold is down again. And oh my god. Tiger Yoshi Lake might need to see a chiropractor after that, because our fingers decide to play with him. Harold Total Drama decides he's ready to be done with this piece. Alright, time to stage dive through the guitar, and he is going to miss the guitar completely. Tattoo Practice in the back, followed by Irrelevant, and Tattoo Practice and Mr. Irrelevant both go down. Harold back up to the guitar. Cyber Blue goes for a swim. Can he do it? Taking his time. And takes the guitar to the face. Tattoo Practice deciding he wants to stage dive, and does not do that. Alright. Harold back up again, and Adore decides he wants to move on to the guitar. And Harold is not gonna stick the landing. Adore wants to be the first one crowd surfing. Can he do it? Oh, Tattoo Practice cuts in front of him, and Adore will not be doing that. Harold deciding to time it. Oh my god! Our guitar decides it's had enough of Harold and decides to break him before he breaks it. Adore back up, and Harold wants to take the first spot, but it looks like it's gonna be Adore who takes the first spot and zone it. And just like that, we've got 2 spots left, and Tiger Yoshi falls, and so does ARL. And Harold, again, stage dives through our guitar and misses the crowd completely. And while Adore celebrates, we let the rest of the contestants play out. Tiger Yoshi decides he wants to go to the guitar, and Harold finally makes it through our guitar, decides he's gonna take the second spot. And just like that, this competition has gotten a lot more serious. We are down to 1 spot left in the zone, and it is not gonna be Tattoo Practice. Our guitar decides to give him a tramp stamp he will never forget. Dizv deciding he wants to not strike the right note, and Tiger Yoshi and oh my gosh, our guitar is not for the weak. Cyber Blue 7 decides he's not ready to be done with keyboard lessons, but Tiger Yoshi and Dizv both flop. And just like that, ARL is not moving on. Still anyone's game for this last spot, and Tiger Yoshi wants it. Oh my god. Tiger Yoshi using his feet as a propeller straight into our support. Yeah, I think he really brought the house down with that. And Dizv and, oh lord, Tattoo Practice takes this bite of our guitar. And Cyber Blue 7 gets just a taste of our platform. And Tiger Yoshi goes down hard. Yeah. And Tiger usually goes down, but Dizv, Mr. Irrelevant, is going to make it to the zone and claim the last spot. Attention all remaining competitors, this concert is over. Moving on to round 3, we've got Mr. Irrelevant, Dizv, Adore Spoke 1, and Harold Total Drama 5. And what a grueling day it has been for these 3. But before we can get into any madness in the zone, we've got to introduce the zone. First up, we've got a 240 stud launch into the chilling waters of Splashout thanks to the buoy launch. Following that, they'll climb up our stairs and move on to window pane, trying not to clean our windows with their bodies. But hey, at least it makes it shiny clean for me to see. These tilting platforms make it extremely difficult to grip and hard to move on to the Cinestairs. 3 pairs of 2 spinning stairs, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Finally, they'll face Heli Hop Havoc, where they will jump over our power lines, crash land on our helipads, and land here. First to light up the zone is Dizv. Let's see how he got to the zone. Yeah, Dizv lived up to his name. He was kind of irrelevant. There's not much to say about it. So, we go to a zone run. Alright, Dizv loaded up in the buoy launch. There's the countdown. And he is off! Oh, wow. But Dizv making good time swimming to our ladder almost immediately. Especially with that far launch that he got, could not help his time. Dizv approaching window pane, and this obstacle has proven to be a tricky one in the zone. The combination of random tilting as well as elevation throws the contestants' times way off. And you see it right there! That second platform just drops from under him and he is gone just like that. Even with that fall though, continuing to set good time. Back up on nearly falls. Oh my god! That is the most relevant he's done all day. Dizv gets a face full of platform. Back up for a 3rd attempt, and after this attempt he can skip. Alright, sticks landing on the first one. And does the exact same thing! Look at this, Dizv repeating Wipeout. And after a fall like that, I decide to skip too. On to Cinestairs with that 30-second penalty. Looking for the timing. Oh my god! Dizv gets clipped by our bar. And hopefully he has the timing correct this time around. Alright, moving on to the second stair. And goes too high and gets clipped. Oh no. That is the one thing you want to avoid. Alright, made that long swim and is climbing back up our ladder. That must be exhausting. Back up on the Cinestairs. I cannot imagine going for a 3rd rotation. The combination of rotation plus having to time your jump is dazing the contestants, and you can see why. Dizv makes a careless jump into the sweeper bar and tumbles down that 3rd set of Cinestairs. Decides to skip and move on to Heli Hop Havoc. Making good time though, just around about 6 minutes 30 seconds, and sticks the first one on his first attempt. That's really impressive. This obstacle is a combination of physics and skill, and that is just not good, as you can see here. Dizv forgets to jump and proves that this obstacle is hard enough. He has got to be feeling it coming up on the 7-minute mark, especially on this last obstacle. Nevertheless, he ventures through to set a good time. And sticks on the 2nd attempt, and just like that, he is done at a time of 7 minutes, 1 second, and 30 milliseconds. I apologize for the time being incorrect. And next up is Adore Spoke. Adore Spoke proved to be more relevant than Dizv, placing 3rd in the qualifier. Then, he bettered that performance in Hyperdrive, claiming the 1st spot after getting shot down for the first time in a while. And after that, he maintained his 1st place status in Greatest Hits. Will he be able to get 1st place in the zone? Only time will tell. And his skill, of course. Adore Spoke loaded up into our buoy launch. Remember, he's got to beat the time of 7 minutes, 1 second, 30 milliseconds. And there's the touchdown. Adore lands in relatively the same spot as Dizv, so they are pretty neck and pace. And assuming they would be, because he hasn't even had 1 attempt. But he is approaching window pane. Sticks the first jump, But can he stick the second? Even with that second platform tilting, he just sticks the second and the platform drops, but he holds on. All right, moving on to the third. And sticks that landing too. Only got 2 jumps left, the fourth platform and the end platform. Sticks on the fourth platform. Can he beat this in 1 shot? Yes, he can. Adore setting a record time. Or at least on track to set a record time. And slips off some stairs. You do not want to be making mistakes like that, especially in such a zone like this. Adore up for a second attempt on Sinistairs. Staying low on that first set. Smart. And gets absolutely clipped by both sets. Look at this. Adore makes a careless jump onto the second set, not watching that sweeper, and that sweeper took advantage of it. Adore proving this zone is definitely a head hitter. Back up for a third attempt on Sinistairs. Carefully timing that jump this time. Hopefully he can land on the third set. And going around again, taking his time. That's smart, making sure to time it correctly. Lands on the third set and gets absolutely chopped by that third set. Look at that again. Our sweepers just love hitting on Adore's head. I think objects are drawn to it, or at least the flying ones. Nevertheless, Adore moving on to our second set. Not wasting any time here, running through it. And beats Sinistairs. No penalties yet, not falling behind Dizv's pace, but now he's on a Heli Hop Havoc. And remember, Dizv did this did the first set in the first attempt and the second set in the second attempt. So Adore does have room for error, but not many. And Adore doesn't even get off the power line. Adore proving again that he is slippery when wet. And hesitating, which is not something you want to do in the zone. Alright, up for another attempt. And slams his face into the platform. I cannot explain how hard this obstacle is. With all the rotating involved, you just have to be able to know when to jump on the power line. And that was not it. Adore getting a little too much acceleration as he bounces off the helipad and into the platform. And slips off the helipad again. All day he's been proving that he is slippery when wet. And I'm hoping just this one time he can stick this out. And he does! He lands on the helipad successfully. Onto the second set now. But that sizable lead is gone, and it will continue to decrease with another fall like that. Going up for a second attempt, but I'm not sure if he has many of these left, and that could have been it. Look at this. Adore sticks the landing and then decides he doesn't want to and rolls off the side. It does the same thing again. I don't understand. Now he's really running low on time. And it looks like Adore's day is going to be done with that fall. The only thing standing in Dizv's way now of the 150 Robux is Harold Total Drama 5, as Adore spoke, takes himself out of the running. Let's see how Harold Total Drama 5 made it to the zone. He struggled in the Hyperdrive and took a lot of hard hits on greatest hits and yeah, all that stuff. And even tried to overshadow Adore, but nevertheless he made it to the zone and there's not much to say about that. So Harold Total Drama 5 in our launch. And hopefully he will not flop as bad as he did on greatest hits or Hyperdrive. There's the horn. And there's the splash. Swimming over to window pane now, and this obstacle is proving to be very difficult as we have seen with Dizv's run. Sticks the landing on the first, nearly slips off. Sticks the landing on the oh, I lied! He can't stick the landing on the second. Look at this. Slides right into that railing and falls straight into the water. You know, those railings are supposed to help, not hurt. sticks the landing on the first, and sticks the landing on the second this time, making a successful jump. Hopefully he can repeat that on the next two, and he does with luck. Those platforms randomly tilting could not make this, and he does the same thing. Harold making the exact same mistake he just made. He cannot afford many more of these on this obstacle, because remember, Dizv had 3 attempts and decided to take the 30-second penalty. So if he wants to stay neck and neck, he's got to beat this on the second attempt. Or the third attempt, I apologize. And he does not. Yeah, that platform just slipped right out from under him, just like it did with Dizv, and he is in the water. And going up for a 4th attempt. Sticking the landing, though. This might be the one where he beats it. And remember, Dizv did not beat this obstacle. So if Harold can beat it, that gives him a little bit, not much, but a little bit of a head start. And he will beat it. He is not going to beat it. Look at that. Harold stuck the landing and tried to hold on, but just could not save it. And deciding to skip for a 30-second penalty, and I would agree with that. But now just a little bit behind Dizv's pace. And that will set him even further back. That sweeper might have sent him back in time. Making another long swim, climbing up those ladders, exhausting again. And he's only on the second obstacle. Being careful though. Carefully timing this jump. Drops down to the third. Will he? Watch out! Harold flies into the heli hop havoc. I don't think he timed that at all. I don't even think he knew where he was going. But he does know he's going up for a 4th attempt, which is not great. And makes a careless jump. Careless actions lead to poor outcomes, and Harold is proving that all day today. But this time, he got lucky. Waiting for that second set to come around, and hopefully the transition will be smoother than his attempted end. Drops to that third set, and lands on the platform. He is done with the stairs onto Heli Hop Havoc, and this obstacle has also proven to be hard, and you can see why. Harold doesn't even bounce off the power line. And with that, Harold's got a minute left. And cartwheels off the helipad. What is he doing? Harold gets tripped up on that power line and uses his face to cushion the fall onto the helipad, and that sends him into the drink. Up again, and just cannot stick the landing. He slides right off that same helipad. And again, that time he didn't even get onto it. And just like that, he is running out of time, but sticks the landing on the first set. Second set, and he's down. And just like that, Harold Total Drama 5's day is done. And congratulations to Dizv on behalf of all the Splash Out staff. Congratulations to Dizv for winning episode 3 of Splash Outs. I cannot tell you how tough this episode has been. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you'll join us next time where we have crazier contestants and crazier obstacles. For Jack is Trash, I'm your host Skylanzcircus. Good night and big balls.